Yeah, I told you stuff like this was going to start happening. The governor, Texas, is about to invoke wartime powers. Well, that's what he's considering. Let's put up his picture full mass. Let's dive into this, all right? The governor of Texas is thinking about attempting to invoke wartime powers and allowing state police to round up immigrants and send them to Mexico. According to the report, powers normally reserved for the federal government. So let me tell you what's happening right now. The governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, is considering invoking a wartime power that will make him the de facto president of Texas. And it will give him powers that actually far exceed what the president has over the United States of America. He will be in total dictatorship control of the state of Texas if he invokes this power. Nobody touches this, but he's willing to do it according to the narrative. Okay, this would be radical, legally dubious is what some are saying. The plan would involve invoking war powers and allowing state police to begin rounding up migrants and asylum seekers and then dispatching them over the border into Mexico. A moment when federal authorities are bracing for the number of migrant crossings to potentially triple in the summer. Prominent conservatives, including former high-ranking members of the Trump administration, are urging Abbott to take unprecedented measures. You see, I don't like what Abbott is doing. What Abbott is doing is immoral. It's wrong. It violates the common sense of good faith as it relates to being a public official. But once again, Abbott has put something on the table. Another Republican has put something on the table that's out of the box, creative, and the people who support him love it. Now, obviously, I hate it, but these individuals are playing for keeps. All right, the plan, constitutional experts say, is loopy. Invasion scheme has little chance of surviving the legal challenge that would, in all likelihood, be launched instantaneously by President Joe Biden's Department of Defense. But that hasn't stopped Abbott from publicly insisting that he's exploring the idea in depth. Okay, all right, yeah, that's gonna save us. The Department of Justice to the rescue, because they've rescued us from everything else, right? They have a great track record for filing a lawsuit, and then the Republicans are just going to do the right thing because we have a Department of Justice. Nobody gives a damn about the DOJ anymore. You think Republicans care about the DOJ? The Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, has already created his own private police force. They got funding for it. It just passed. He got money for his own private police force in order to bypass the federal rule as it relates to those that serve in his state guard. Okay, he's already done it. It's a done deal. They're calling it a pilot program, but they're going to expand it. There's more here. According to a highly doubtful theory now being pushed in conservative circles, language in the Constitution could be read to suggest that states, listen to this now, that states can assert war powers on their own if they are facing a foreign invasion. Doing so would allow Abbott to assume powers that are normally reserved for the federal government. This is something that I began studying when I was the Attorney General of Texas, Abbott said during a roundtable on Thursday. The operation, as it would, is to detain these people and deport them immediately. Did you hear what the man said? The man said, oh, you thought I just started thinking about this. Hell, I've been thinking about this since I was the Attorney General. He already had a plan. Where are the Democrats that think this far in advance? The man has been considering making himself president of Texas since he was the Attorney General. There's more. Abbott went on to say that he's fully aware he could be putting Texas police officers in legal jeopardy. The former head of Border Patrol sent his general counsel a memo saying it could expose law enforcement in the state of Texas to being prosecuted. You think he gives a damn? Abbott has already responded to the Biden administration's decision to rescind Title 42 by introducing a commercial vehicle inspection policy at the border that upended international trade and prompted frantic negotiations with border Mexican governors to bring the inspection to an end. It was a high stakes gambit that dented the economy, but Abbott has been unapologetic about the fiasco. Now, let me remind you, in order to get around the federal government, this governor created a policy that inspected all shipments coming in from Mexico to Texas, which basically destroyed the supply chain, enhanced what we know as regional inflation, and it decreased the Texas economy by $100 million a day. Truckers literally had to go on social media and call him out on this, and he eventually changed course. You're talking about a man who's willing to lose in his state $100 million a day to make a damn political point. As I said, I don't like Abbott. Abbott is wrong. Abbott is wrong ethically. He's wrong politically. He's wrong as a human being. He's not a good person, not a decent guy. No one I want to have a drink with. But damn, he's using every inch of authority he believes he has. He's using it. Wosny, thoughts?
You know, it's interesting you bring up the Democrats in this conversation, and fundamentally they just could never bring themselves to do something like this because it's their belief that the system is perfect. The system is great. We just got to use it better. So the idea that they would go outside of it or skirt it, just look at how they treat the filibuster as if it's this sacred rule that, if you just don't do this, we might as well rip up the Constitution. When really it's just this, parliamentary freaking nicety that they go to as excuses to not deliver stuff to their people. Yeah, Democrats would fundamentally, they don't think like this. They're not built like this. They think the system is wonderful just how it is. All the iniquities that the system produces, those aren't problems of the system. It's just little tweaks that we got to do here and there. And so they would never behave like Abbott and DeSantis. Those guys are trying to one up each other to see how crazy and right wing they could possibly be. And then, they're doing what they want.
Yeah, very well said.